Polite Enquiries. Old Trafford.
Why do I have to be polite?
We do look like we're dressed for a funeral.
Funny that.
Smith asks, Steve...
Really?
Yeah, not that one. Not the Smith.
Sort of thing he would do. Yeah, you're really good. Move on.
Steve
No
Smith's
one-
ashes? Is it?
No one likes to know it all, Steve. Yeah. I mean, at some stage during the summer, wasn't it just showing off, really?
He failed with that 82 or whatever it was. Failure. Terrible.
Yeah, Steve Smith's ashes, he's been the difference between the side. It's been magnificent. Redemption and all that sort of stuff. I mean, he was over-punished in my view anyway, but he's done brilliantly.
In fact, I think it says quite something in the fact that the two players who have had the most impact on these ashes in Smith and Stokes, I think for both of them it's been a great comeback story after
Not so
time
much
out of the game.
Warner and Bancroft.
Alex asks...
Alex Hales.
No. Alex Nicholson asks...
Nico.
Is it time to accept that we need a separate Test and ODI team, perhaps with separate coaches? Roy, Bairstow and Butler, definite starters in the ODI, but should be the likes of Sydney Folkes.
Well, I don't think the separate coaches thing works. We tried that, didn't we? It didn't work. They just sort of fell out. It was more competitive than the team were. So, does separate players work? Yeah, definitely. Josh Butler, white ball player. Move on.
Also, I think you have to look at the scheduling of this summer.
Australia played in the World Cup as well, you know. They only played one fewer game in that World Cup. I no excuses. None. Australia with the better side, they won.
Abijato asks, maybe...
Beautifully pronounced. You practiced this beforehand because...
No, I don't actually. But anyway, the question is, maybe it's time we accept that Joe Denley could be the effort man in an otherwise flamboyant English Test side needs.
I'm lost for words.
Happens so rarely.
Really? Ludicrous. Listen, I think he's had... I don't want to be mean-spirited, but I'm going to be. I think he's had a hell of a lot of fortune this series. And look, is he one of the guys who we think is going to win the Ashes for England and Australia in a couple of years, or win in India in a year or so? Or do you?
Look,
am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong, but let's give him his day. He's got 2 50s in this series.
He's averaging
at
25. Is that enough? You see, this is my thing. There's so many guys in that England dressing room who are doing just enough to sort of get by and keep their place in the side. Are they shaping games? Are they winning series? No, they're not. It's not good enough. 25, it's mediocre.
Pavlovs asks, if I use my time machine and get Steve Smith's ban extended to 2 years on appeal, would England have won the Ashes by now?
Good question. But the fact is he is in their side and he has made a big difference. The other thing I would say is Australian attack's a bit better, isn't it? There's not really much let-up. I know it's a 4-man attack, but those opening bowlers, or whoever, Cummins and Hazelwood, if they're the opening bowlers, they really are just about as good as it gets. Honestly, they're just about as good as I've ever seen as a pair. They're maybe not better than Johnson or Harris, but they're more rounded,
But if you take Steve Smith's runs out, obviously that leaves a huge hole. I guess you can't say what would have come in. Marnus Labuschagne could have started the series and you don't know what he might have done. But
take Ben Stokes out then.
Take Ben Stokes out.
I mean, if you take the best players out of sides, things are very different.
That's very true.
But you're right. He was the key difference in the side, but I think the bowling attack issue was also relevant. The English attack's decent, the Australian attack's special.
Adam asks, England captains rarely get a shot at losing 3 Ashes series, but will Joe Root? We were discussing.
I think only one
today.
has.
One, yes.
And that was over 100 years ago. So will he? I think he might. Certainly in the post-match press conference, he was very much focused on the next game, and he averages 40 as captain, 52 when he's not captain. What's his primary job?
Scoring runs.
Right. Is he doing that?
No. Well, it'll be interesting to see what coach they go for next, because I think he needs a stronger coach.
That's true. That's a good point.
Look at the difference between him and Owen Morgan, and that one-day team was Owen Morgan's team. What is this Test team? What's its stamp? And is it his team? Is it Trevor Bayliss's team? Is it Ed Smith or
Ed Myth?
Is it his team?
Should we do the look to the camera again?
Luca asks, international cricket, to walk or not to walk? That is the question.
I think people ought to walk, to be honest, but
if you know you've hit it, you should walk.
It certainly didn't make me feel any different about Ben Stokes, no.
You didn't discover a burning passion.
Well, no, I already think he's
You already had a
very
burning passion.
fine, honourable fellow.
He is,
so
yes.
it didn't make me think less or better.
I didn't choose this question. Did
Well,
you?
I haven't been on your phone. I wouldn't do something like that.
Well,
What is it? Go on.
Kartik says, what's George Dobell known for? Wit and humour, being handsome,
Really?
awesome cricketing knowledge, or D, all of the above?
I like Kartik.
We'll see you at the Oval. You put that on there, didn't you?
No, didn't even know how to.
You
And I'm
did.
not at the Oval, so thanks for having me. It's been a lot of fun.